Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camelia Crafts Designs. I'm here today with quite a simple, easy project. Yeah, you can make this one as easy or as complicated as you want, depending on how you embellish it. All you need to make it is scissors, glue, some card and whatever bits and bobs you're going to use to decorate it with. So let's tell you what they are. They're just little photo pockets, specimen type pockets. They're just cute little pockets that are going to look fabulous in any junk journal. That one I've done with a faux photo. Yeah, made a little tag to go in it. The only decoration on the pocket is a little cluster that I made. So I got to use up some scraps of fabric. So I should say this is part of the Scrapbusters challenge. That's the one run by Melina over at Me Crafty Scrapper. And her mum, Melina, who is Missy at scrapbookingme.com, has also done this challenge. Go over and look at them both. I'm going to be doing mine slightly different, only because they did it so fabulously. I just didn't want to repeat what they'd done, so I'm just going to do it in my quick, easy little way. Right, what am I going to use for mine? As you can see, I've used quite a few Tim Holtz papers, because I've got lots of Tim Holtz papers. I've used some craft card stock. I've used some cream card stock. I don't even know what brand that paper was. Oh, there you go. I just love how you can squeeze it and get your tag out. I just love it. It's cute. In the front, I've put acetate. You don't have to put the acetate in. You can if you want. So that's that one. That's got acetate again. That one, I used some vellum. My vellum's cream and it's not very translucent, so I only did one like that, but I still like it and I will still use it, but I prefer the acetate. This one, the butterfly is actually on the acetate. It was a clear sticker, so I like that. You think the butterfly is on the tag and it's not until you pull it out. So yeah, let's crack on and make some. We can waffle about them all day, can't we? So pop them over to one side. Now, the parts of the Tim Holtz paper pads I've used for this, some of them, well, most of them, is this. If you've got any of the 12x12 paper pads, at the back, you get these sheets where it's just, I think they're designed to cut up for journal cards. But I like to cut them up and into pairs so I can fold them over as journal cards, fold over ones, and to make these, it was really easy to make them. Now, I've run out of the rectangular ones, so let's cut these out together. Come on, Chompy Chopper. I've got to get Chompy Chopper out on the table for this. So I'm going to cut it straight down middle. Oh, don't move it like that before you cut, you silly woman, because then it'll cut all wonky. There we go. I have to go pretty quick with this trimmer or it don't cut even. In fact, I've not got it quite at middle, which, yeah, whatever. Pretend that didn't happen and just trim that bit off. Yeah, that did not happen. Then I'm going to cut them into twos. In fact, I'm going to get my little chopper out for this. It's much easier. So go away, big chompy chopper. Hello, cute little handy chopper. It's a guillotine, not a chopper. I just like to call it a chopper. Chop, chop. So that's one we can make. Two we can make. You don't have to use Tim Holtz paper. I will tell you the measurements of this. You can use any scraps you've got laying around. I'm getting pretty low on cardstock scraps because I've not done any projects that aren't from scraps with designer papers for a while. I did one other day, but it didn't give me many scraps. So grab your ruler, tell them how big it is, woman. It is, I could have guessed, but I might have guessed wrong. 6 inches by 4. But size really doesn't matter. Make them whatever size you want. Then I just fold them in half. Don't even bother with scoreboard. Now, Melina made some of hers with gussets to make the pockets, to make the most of the pockets, but I can't be bothered with gussets today. No gussets. That, I like that. I like that for the front as well. We're going to get that. Yeah. So I'm going to draw around something to make a square, or you could draw around something to make a circle or an oval or whatever. Now this, I'm wondering if I use lid off that, that's going to be a little bit too big, isn't it, if I use that. I've got a small ink pad I could draw around. That's a bit too small. And just because I can't be bothered to go and find something right size, I'm going to draw around a die. Ta-da! There you go. If you've got it, use it. Now, I did make some of these with the dies. In fact, is that one... Did I cut that one out with the die? Yes, I did. But do you know what? I found it harder to line that die up than just cut it out with my scissors. Where's one I cut out definitely with scissors? I did the gentleman one with scissors. Where's he gone? Where you gone, mate? That one. In fact, what did I do? Yes, I drew around the inside of that die, and then I cut that out with my scissors. But like I said, scrap around your house, find something that you want to draw around that's right size. It should be easier than just, yeah, you don't have to draw around a die. It just happens to be right size for me. So I'm going to draw around outside, I think, and make this quite a big window. So I'm going to line it up. Well, that's going to be perfect. That'll get that parcel post up top and that C3 down bottom. Well, I'll lose a bit at sea. World will not end. So, get drawing, woman. Now, if you were adept with a craft knife, which I am not, you could then just cut this out with your craft knife. I'm going to do something now that's a bit dodgy. I'm going to draw with my left hand. Oh, wow. Did I know I was ambidextrous? I did not. Am I really ambidextrous? No. That's terrible. I'm using a pencil. I can rub it out. If you're worried about leaving any marks, turn it over and draw on the inside. I'll rub them out, put some ink on. Job will be a good and you'll never know that I've done that. Right. I've got a bit of foam just because I'm very prone. I'm accident prone. I could stab myself. People might be saying, what on earth is she doing with those Tim Holtz scissors? These are my old ones that are a bit dodgy, but they still cut brilliantly. I bent the point and someone did kindly buy me a new pair, which are here, look, all protected and looked after for my fussy cutting. So I've just made a few stabby marks. I'm now going to cut up to, because I've got rounded corners, I like to cut up to just before corner. Yeah, and I'm going to do that on them all because I just find it makes it less likely to rip. If you don't want to see me painfully take 3 days to cut around this, just fast forward. Right, so now I'm going to cut. Cutty cut cut. If you make a real mess of cutting this out, you could always just rough the edges up and pretend you're meant to do it wonky and distressed. Yeah, I think Miss E did some by ripping it. She did some fabulous ones. She used some envelopes to make some. Melina did some with vellum. I'm using acetate in mine, but it's not acetate, the expensive stuff to buy. I bought myself a pack of, I forgot what they're called. Oh, stop fussy cutting or you'll forget to do this, woman. Let me show you. What do I like them? It's laser and copier transparency film. Now I can print on that should I want to, and then I could have writing on my acetate, but I didn't think that far ahead, did I? In fact, I just thought that now. But that's 100 sheets. I bought them about a year ago. That's going to finish. That's going to last my lifetime. They're about £10 from Amazon. If you're interested in them, I will link them. My Amazon storefront's always in my description, so you can have a look at what I use. Even if you're not buying the stuff from Amazon, you can find out all the details of bits and bobs I use. But use what you've got. Yeah, I found I didn't get enough packaging. To be honest, we don't buy a lot of pre-packed foods in posh packaging that has acetate and film. Yeah, we just don't. So I don't get a lot of that kind of packaging. I find that the packaging that craft supplies come in can sometimes be a bit too stiff. Adds a lot of bulk to your journals, but it depends where you're going to use it. If you wanted it on front of a journal, that wouldn't be a bother. Right, I've made a right fluff up of that corner. Can you see? That corner is horrendous. So do you know what I'm going to do when I decorate it? Voila. That's it, that corner's solved. I can cut that out much better when I'm not talking, it would seem. Yeah, I would did that much better on my own. But I'm not going to turn the camera off. Oh, I've got an itchy nose. That's supposed to mean you're lying. I'm definitely not lying. I honestly did it much better. Oh, I can't be bothered straightening it up. I'm just going to rub out some of my lines, whack some ink on, and I promise it will look fabulous. Of course it will. I'm going to get my favourite ink for doing this kind of thing. And I've got out a little one of these. Oh, why has it got red on? I haven't got a clue. It's not blood, I promise you. I've got my little dauber because I thought it might be easier to get round here. Not really. Not really. Get your other dauber back, woman. My other dauber's got lots of ink in it already. When you put a new dauber on, it takes a while to get enough ink loaded in them for them to be ready to go. It's a second's notice. Whee. Move that because you're going to end up dipping your card in it, aren't you, where you're performing? Yeah. Dippy. That's me. Whee. I mean, I've done specimen slides and cards and stuff before, but I just thought this were a lovely, quick, easy way of doing them. So thank you, Melina. I can't even remember what ways that Missy and Melina did them between them now. Right, so that's my window. I'm going to get a bit of acetate sheet and I'm going to measure my window. I mean, measure it, mark it by placing it on, or I'm just going to do it with ruler. I've got my cute little ruler. So it's what? It's just under 2.5. It's square, woman. Don't measure both sides when you know it's square. That's a pointless exercise. I suppose it's a good way of checking it. So I'm going to cut my acetate at just over 2.5. We know the piece of card is 3 inches wide, so yeah, we do. Don't know why this doesn't look big enough. We'll see. We'll see. Is it big enough? Can I measure? It would appear I can indeed measure. For some reason, when I cut acetate, it didn't look big enough. I'm going to move that so we don't start reflecting and glaring. Yeah, there we go. Right, 2 ways you can stick this acetate on. I've said you can make this project with just glue and scissors. So I'm going to stick mine on with glue this time. And I'm going to put my glue on my acetate. And I like to do this. Rather than a complete line, I like to just put some dots on. There's less chance of it squidging, making a mess of your window. And if you think you've got some really big blobs that you don't need, just blob them off with your finger. Blob off. Right, so that's my acetate there. It's got its glue on. Now I'm going to come in with this and I'm going to do this. Do you know, when I did this on my own, I stood up and put my head right over it. So let's hope this goes okay. I can't do it without standing up. Stand up, woman. I think I put too much glue on. The woman has put too much glue on. Oh, well, be right. Be right, won't it? I can wipe it off. World ain't going to come to a crashing halt because I've used too much glue. Could have done with cutting my acetate bigger on that one, to be honest. So, grab a piece of card. Watch. Oh, look. That acetate is now cleaning up lovely. Then I've got a pretty damp, not too wet. So this is an exercise in what to do if you mess it up. I have indeed messed that up. I needed to cut my acetate bigger, but I didn't. Then I'm going to get a piece of kitchen roll. Oh, you silly woman. Doing it with card at the beginning, just got the biggest blobs off. Oh, it's clean now. Yeah, that'll do. What does my mum say? Blind man would be glad to see it. Well, she did say it. I've now got something off my desk stuck to that side. What a drama. But look, what else do they say? All's well that ends well. It's not the biggest drama in the world if you get glue where you don't want it on your acetate, because it just wipes off. Now what I'm going to do is get the proper glue bottle, and I'm just going to seal this along the bottom and up the side. If you want to put a thumb notch in top, go ahead. I quite like not having a thumb notch when I've done this with acetate, because it stiffens the front a little bit, and then it allows you to just squeeze the pocket from either side to get whatever's in it in and out. I don't know, for some reason that makes me happy. Tequila, it makes me happy. No, it doesn't. I don't like tequila. So, I'm not a closet tequila swigger. Swig. Is that a British saying, swig? I don't know if it's British or even just Yorkshire. It just means to take a gulp or something, a swig. I don't know. I felt the need to deny being an alcoholic there. Can you imagine me just crafting after a drink? Oh my word. I can't do it sober half the time. And there we go. And look at that. Because the paper's double-sided, you've got all that lovely, interesting yumminess showing through the window. There we go. That's just reminded me of another comedian's catchphrase. If I don't see through week, I'll see through window. Mad, mad, mad. Bitter income. Yeah, we've got that dodginess there. It's junk journaling, what can I say? Perfection is not a prerequisite. And I'm going to cover that up with a little baby cluster. Now let's make a little baby cluster, because I am using up scraps of fabric here as well as scraps of... I've got so many different scrap tubs and boxes and whatever. So I've just grabbed this one, because it's got a lot of little bits in. Little bits that aren't really much good for much else. So I'm going to grab that. I've got some... Oh, that's a nice scrap piece, isn't it, there? I've got some of this. I'm going to have to cut that down smaller. But I don't mind. I'll get about 4 out of that. So, instantly I've got 3 bits of scrappiness. Don't like that hanging off there. Sorry, just don't. And I think that needs to be a bit smaller. Don't be afraid of making your scraps smaller. I'm just moaning all my scraps too small, and now I'm like, yeah, cut them, make them even smaller. No problem. That can go there. Don't make it a complete cross, or it looks a little bit contrived, doesn't it? That's better. I don't even think that one needs lace. I like the bit of green on, because there's quite a bit of green on here. Then I'm going to grab a random button. This was a pack of just beigey buttons I bought from Hobbycraft in the UK. Probably vastly overpriced, but just use any button you've got. The type of button is not an issue. And when I'm making these for myself, I am not quite so neat and tidy as I am when I'm making them to sell. If I'm making this and gluing it straight on a project, I'm not right bothered how neat it is on back. I just want to get it done and dusted. So I do it a slightly different way. If you ever bought any from me in my Etsy shop, you'll know, yeah, I make them really neat on the back in case you want to use them as a dangle or something. And I make it so they're not going to be falling apart. Go on. I don't want to have to get needle threader out. I'm like, yes, I can see. I'm not 53, I'm 23. I can see. Go on, just do it. Just get through. It's not going to happen, is it? I'm going to have to get needle threader out, which I'm really sad about. Now, oh, I did it. Whew. I feel young again. Right. So all I do when I'm going to be gluing it straight on is I come in front back. I leave a tail. I go back. I mean, I might be teaching you to suck eggs, but I have had people say that they've never sewn it all before. Back in. Oops. And back. So I've got my little cross on front. I've got my 2 tails on back. And I'm just going to tie them. If I can. I think I'll find tying a knot challenging there, won't I? There you go, that's quick and easy. She says, getting it all tangled. That didn't happen. It's because of that Hessian. It's a pain in posterior, that stuff is. Just go away, stop. Just behave. Why are you making it look like everything's really complicated and hard to do when I'm telling people it's not? So there we have a cluster. If you then think it's not big enough, you could do with something else underneath, which I am now thinking, and just glue something underneath before you put the cluster on. I think I want more green. I do. So I'm going to cut that. Yeah, that needed even more green. I like that. So get your art glitter glue, which is my preferred glue for sticking this on. Whatever glue you like for gluing fabric on. And there you go. Because I'm then putting lots of glue over that knot, I don't really care how neat and pretty it looks because we ain't never going to see it again. Oh, that moved. Don't matter. World ain't going to end. I don't like that there. It's too pokey, too pointy. There you go. That solved that one, didn't it? And I'm happy with that. What we're going to put inside? Well, I've got a box of random tags and stuff. Right, somebody's at my door. 2 ticks. And I'm back. A mysterious parcel did arrive. Don't know what's in it. I'll open it after the video. Right. So yeah, I've just got random tags half finished here. So I am just... Oh, that would look really nice, wouldn't it, in one, if I could contrive that somehow. I'm just flicking through to see what I've got that would look good. Failing that, I'm just cutting a piece of the cardstock. No, I'm not liking anything there. So I'm going to go back to these. And I'm going to pick something. Oh, that would look nice. Oh, that'd look nice. I could say that about them all. Oh, birds. They'd hide down bottom, them birdies, wouldn't they? They would. Let's grab some more cardstock. I've got plenty to hand. Here we go. Like I said, most of my scraps are my Timmy scraps and similar. So I'm looking for something to make a tag from. Ooh, a giant ticket. Not today, Josephine. That would be handy. I'm just looking for something that's going to be really quick. Oh, what's that? That looks a good size. Oh, that's going to be perfect. There you go. Somehow, I don't know why that's as it is. That looks like it was a project that got abandoned or went wrong because it's cut wonky. But that's going to be brilliant. Yeah, get your chopper out, chick. Oh, don't put that on your cluster that I haven't finished gluing yet. Crazy lady. I'm going to just cut that down to there. To there. And I've got a feeling that's going to fit nicely. Perfect. Oh, I think I must have wheeled over it on my chair. It's got a crease. I don't matter. I can live with that. I do that often. I drop card on the floor, then I wheel over it with wheelie chair. Then, hey presto, it's got a great big tram line running through it. I'm going to use my plastic card to make this a tag shape because I can. It's just a plastic card. I've cut random corners off. And then I can choose whatever shape I want for my corner. Do that. Then flip the card over like that. Hey presto, your corners are even. If I tried to do that myself, I'd keep cutting until the card would just gone to disappear. Because I'd never get 2 even ones. I do have one of those choppers that chops the corners off, but honestly, that is easier than even bothering to get that out. If I'm doing loads, I will get my corner chomper out. If I'm just doing one, I just can't be bothered. Right. I'm going to put a flower sticker on that. I've got my sticker pack I bought recently from Amazon. I see that loads here have followed my affiliate link and bought these sticker packs. Thank you. If you follow affiliate link, it doesn't cost you anymore, but I get a little bit of commission. And what does it say? Every little helps. There's a, I don't know, if you're in UK, you might know the rest of that saying. You might think it's... Okay, I'll say it as my mum said it. Every little helps, as witch said when she piddled in sea. There you go. I don't know why it were a witch. I just don't know. I'm looking for one that's going to look nice with this. I don't... Yeah, actually, that pink might go. But I think I want something yellow. That white is going to disappear into tag. Yeah, there's all sorts in these sticker packs, and they're about £6-7. It's Amazon. Price goes up and down a little bit. Wait, I don't know. I must like that one because I've got it out twice. Ooh, does purple go? No. Tell me I'm not gonna... Ooh. Before she knows it, she's got the old sticker pack spread out all over the desk. That's pale pink. Do you know, I don't think these go. Oh, yellow. That's what I'm after. Perfect. I'm going to stick that on. Oh, no. What am I going to do with these? Right. Here, I've got a big plastic bag. Because I don't have an empty receptacle. I need to get one of my plastic boxes out to put these stickers in, because I must have spent 3 hours picking them up and putting them back in that packet since I bought them. So now I'm just scooping them into that bigger one. Why I didn't think of this earlier is anyone's guess. Voila. There we go. Put them to one side. Yeah, I want to put that on and label and stick an hole in top, and tag will just be done, won't it? You know how to make tags. You do. Whee. I'm going to put it slightly near at top, so it's going to show through my window. I'm going to put it over to the side as well, because I can. There we go. I like these. And if you go over these with your bone folder, they disappear. Look how it disappears into the background. I hope that picks up on camera. They don't come peeling off either if you burnish them like this. I love it. That looks like it were meant to be there now, doesn't it? I'm going to wang a label on it. I'm not going to spend 3 days looking. Every time I say that, I end up spending 3 days deciding, don't I? Dance. There we go. I might put that on there as well. It looks good. So let's ink that dance label up. Melina made loads in time. I think I've done more time waffling than making. But you keep saying you like that, so hey-ho. Sometimes you get gist from seeing one, don't you? You get the idea. Whee. I like that. I'm going to... Will I put a tag on? Oh, no, I fancy chomping an hole in this for a change. I've put tabs on others. So again, like I said, you can make these as fancy or as non-fancy as you like, depending on your tools. If you don't have this punch, use an old punch. Use a reinforcement ring round it. I'm going to put an eyelet in because I've got one. That's not an eyelet. Does that look like an eyelet? No. I think it's safe to say I picked wrong box up there. They're eyelets. I've got some of these. I like that. It's a goldy colour. They were Fiskars. They're very expensive, them Fiskars eyelets. But they are cute. They're so expensive, I use them extremely rarely. I like it. Where's my tool gone? Set the eyelet. Yeah, I say it over and over again. A lot of these tools and gadgets you'll see me and other YouTubers and other crafters use, you don't have to have them all. But as you know, us crafters, we love to spend, don't we? We love to buy stuff. We like something new. I'm now looking for some trim. Ooh, I'm going to pop some of this in again. I'm running out of this colour. I think this is my favourite colour, the moss. This is my favourite colour to make myself, so that's not a problem that I'm running out of this colour, because I can make this colour extremely easily. I've got an ink that makes it, and I've got quite a bit of the white seam binding. Yeah, just going to pop that through, and I'm going to tie that with some string because I can. Well, not string, I'm using this twine. I'm not even going to make another bow. I'm just going to tie it, double knot it, and cut it off. There we go. Cut, cut. That's quite a pretty tag from... I didn't even have a plan when I started that tag, it just occurred. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that one. I don't like how that's got black on edges. That's going off ski. The die cut a little bit wonky again, Mr. Holtz. You really need to address these issues. I love telling off Timmy. He don't listen because he don't watch. So there you go. Timothy, sort out your die cutting machines. And yeah, I want that there. Oh, not like that though. No, I liked a bit of straightness to my stuff. Wipe that glue off. That would have given me nightmares sticking that one, so wonky. I like that though, it's pretty. So there we have one. There we have another. There we have another. There we have another. I'm going to make one more with a die, and I'm going to put a photo in it. I made loads. I'll confess something now. I'd already filmed this video once, and I forgot to set the focus on my camera, so it's so blurry you couldn't even see it. I was gutted, absolutely gutted. It was the best video I've ever made. Now I'm faking it there a bit. It weren't best video I've ever made. Oh, I love the birds, but would I really want to chop the bird's head off? Not on your Nelly. Oh, I can live with cutting off some butterflies because I think butterflies look good in halves. That's a really weird thing to say, isn't it? Butterflies look good in halves. Hey ho. Right, I'm going to grab my die cut machine. I mean, there may be those of you out there who are new to die cutting. You may have dies, and yeah, you just may want to see how we do this. So that's my Gemini MIDI for you. And I'm going to fold this before I line up my die, because sometimes it's hard to get it in the middle because you don't know how much is going to end up getting tucked over then with the crease. So I'm going to pop that on. I like to use this low tact. Go away, you're not needed. Stop going in and act. She's as bad as Gertrude. She's been quiet today, hasn't she? Probably having a rest. Amount of piping up she's been doing last few videos. Right, that looks straight to me. Let's put my low tack tape on. There we go. And then this is very important because I made one without doing this part. Fold that back. Oh, you're going to stick an L through that bit as well, aren't you? Somebody wanted to know how my plates were holding up for my Gemini. Now that's my first ever plate. I think you can see how much I've used that. That's extremely warped, and the reason being, can you see I've just cut the same die over and over again? But I think just to prove to you it works, I'm going to use that one. Yeah, here we go. This is what I like about it. No matter how warped your plates get, look at that, I can hold that. If these were two warped flat plates, I'd be trying to keep them level, going wiggly wiggly. Also, it is a little bit harder to wind it through when plates are really warped. You can flatten your plates out a bit by sticking them in some hot water, but that's still pretty easy. I do, if you're interested, I do have arthritis in my wrists and hands. I have osteoarthritis. And yeah, some days I can't even do that. Right, let's have a look how that went with this majorly warped plate. I've never had a die cut machine where you can use the solid plates when they're that warped. There you go. I think you'll agree that die cut perfectly. And now I've got that to use as a little card or tag, and I've got that to use as a frame. I love this little die. Could not tell you where it's from offhand. So do you know when you ask me in comments, I'll be like, I can't remember. So look at that. I like it. We make that crease nice and stiff. So there you go. This is the one I've made with a die. So if you think to yourself, do I need a die cutting machine and dies that's going to cost me I don't know how much to make this? Or am I just going to make a few and I can make them by cutting it out with my scissors? That's your decision. But that's how I decide. I think if I buy that item, I'm going to cut this acetate a bit bigger this time. We know that's 3 inches wide, the card, so I'm going to cut it 1/8 of an inch smaller. There we go. I can cut one a bit longer actually. So yeah, you decide. Ooh. Now I'm going to do my glue like I did before. This time I've cut my acetate a bit bigger. Oh, I didn't put my pin in, silly woman. Oh, that was a lot. Yeah, and you might look at this and think, that's a daft way of doing it. I really struggle to see acetate. I know it sounds really stupid. It's like I'm having to lean back now and get light on it. I lose acetate all the time because it's see-through. It's clear. It's like, where's it gone? And I just find it easier. I now know where outlining my acetate is because I've just put dots of glue around it. I'm going to open that up. Make sure it don't go over edge. And there we have it. There you go. Because I cut my acetate big enough, I didn't have a problem that time. And have a look. Yeah, perfect. And then I can squidge the glue that way. Whee! It's just my preferred way of doing it. I know it. Yeah, it went wrong first time because I'm busy talking and I cut my acetate too small. I've totally forgot to ink round the edge of that. Why am I doing a video? Yeah, don't forget to ink round the edge. Yeah, sometimes it's an exercise. That's wrong glue. That one's empty. It's an exercise in what not to do, isn't it? As well as what to do. Glue up there. And Bob's your uncle. Whee! Me likes. I think we're going to do this one without inking at all. And I'm going to use a photograph for this one. And I used this pack here. This was something that I got in Happy Mail from my friend Cheryl. She name's Cheryl, but I call her Cheryl, at Crafty Shamrock Designs. And I just looked through. Look, you can see little birds sticking out there. That's so cute. Ooh. Oh, I'm going to say, oh, what's that? It's the one you used, silly woman. Who looks like... Oh, she looks like kind of person to be playing amongst the flowers and the butterflies, doesn't she? So I'm just going to grab the other half of the piece of card I used for that first tag. If I've not lost it. I've lost it, Anna. Oh, where's it gone? I'm not even going to look for it. There it is. There it is. Phew. Oh. And I'm going to just trim it down. Just to get rid of them bent little bits on the end. There we go. And I'm going to put this little girl on it. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to line the top up, and I'm going to be like, yeah, she needs to go about there so we can see her in the window. If I don't see through, we can see through window. You've cracked that joke once already, love. Don't wear it out. They're brilliant, them. They're sticky back, sticky back. I think I might need to make it a bit narrower. Yes, definitely. So we'll trim edges down a bit. I'll do a bit on each edge so it's still even around the photo. I'm going to need to trim length down a bit as well. And you can pop anything you want in these. How cute is that? Cutie. Then because the acetate stiffens it up, it lets you do that easier. And then we can pull her out. I think I'm going to round all corners on this. Yeah. Corner rounder. Where are you? Have I put you away? Have I put you away? Where could that be? I weren't intending to use my corner rounder. Here it is. It's on my desk most of the time, just in a different place. So I'm just going to round that. And to make that look a little bit better, I'm just going to grab my black fine liner. And I'm just going to go around edge. You know, because I've not inked. There may be a death in my family today. Because this fine liner isn't... it's a bit dodgy. I came in my craft room one day a couple of weeks ago. My fine liner was on the desk with no lid on. And I was like, what's occurred there? And my tip is nearly disappeared inside. And it's a little bit dried up. Wonder how that happened. Kids will be cowering somewhere in the background thinking, no, it's not me. I just want to define edge of that photograph a little bit more. And I'm struggling because my fine liner seems to have run out of ink. Because craft fairies have been in and stolen my fine liner and used it. I'll buy some more. Cheeky minxes. You still can see a difference. It does look better. And I'm just going to put one little random label on what we got. That look, I'm going to put it there. Oh, that looks good in that little space. It's as though I planned it, and I didn't. But remember, I'm not inking this one because I forgot to ink my window. I'm going to really fill that glue up. I keep picking empty glue up by mistake. Oh, there we have another one. So, there we have it. I think I'm a bit mad with glue, didn't I? There we go. So let's pop you in, little chickadee. So yeah, you can have people and butterflies and flowers all together. I think she looks sweet in there. That needs a label. But not that one, it's too bright. It's too bright, too in your face. That one looks more like it's giving us some information about the little girl on the photo, doesn't it? So I said at the beginning, all you need is paper, glue and scissors. But plastic, you don't have to put the window in. I mean, on this one, I've not even used ink, and I still like it. I think ink just gives it that extra bit of a different definition around edges, doesn't it? Makes it look a bit older, a bit more vintage, but she's a very vintage little lady. So there we have it. One done with a die, and somewhere there's one that I did by hand. That one. So I think they're just cute. And then there's all prototypes. Some ones I made in the last video that didn't have any focus. It made me feel sick within the first 30 seconds of watching it back. I was like, oh no, what have I done? Yeah, that's what you did, woman. So there we have it. Some cute little clusters, some cute little photo pockets, specimen pockets, whatever you want to call them. You can even make these. If you watch Miss E's video, she did some much larger ones. You can give them as gift cards, birthday cards, whatever cards, huge journal cards, whatever you like. I will link Melina and Miss E's videos in the description below. So I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I've got plenty now. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.